Alright everybody, so we're starting today's video in the garage at the workbench. We're going to mount up, we bought a chin mounts for my Shoei RF-1400, and we're going to get that mounted today for the GoPro. You'll see out here we got laid out now, we got my GoPro, it's got the, I got the Hero9, it's got the media mod on it. Here's the chin mounts directly from them, you know, for the RF-1400. It's actually pretty small, lots smaller than I thought it would be. This is my Dango design clamp that I was using previous, which actually works really well. You put your GoPro directly on the clip here, and then you know it's spring action loaded here. You can see that you just open that up and it locks in. Very solid mount, worked out really well. You know, if you're going to switch from helmet to helmet, I do like it. So we got the heat gun out and stuff like that. I got my microphone here. With the cheap microphone here that was actually recommended by Lali. I'll tag her page and her video down in the thing here. And I just brought the other GoPro mounts out here just to show them to you guys, the ones that come with it, because of the curves of the helmet and stuff. Those don't really work the greatest. But we're gonna mount the chin mounts here. We'll mount the camera to it, but we're not gonna go riding with it. We're gonna give it that 24 hours they say to do it. But starting with the iPhone only because I wanted to show the GoPro, but now we're going to, I'm going to switch over to the GoPro. I'm going to get it clamped up here so we can video me. I'm going to clean the helmet up a little bit, and then we're going to mount the chin mount with the heat gun and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll do a quick adjustment on it, but then maybe we'll ride with it tomorrow. So switching cameras, and we'll catch up in a minute. Alright guys, so let's get started with installation. Hopefully I got a good view here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to clean this helmet because I've been wearing it for a couple of days and it is not pretty. So, by the way guys, I like this glass cleaner from Chemical Guys. Works great. Cleans the shield up well. You know what I mean? You get, you know, little bugs and stuff, all that kind of stuff comes off. Doesn't leave a lot of residue. But it really does clean the helmet up nice, and also leaves a nice view. Yeah, I mean when you're riding and stuff, you know, real clear and looks out well. So I'm going to give it a quick wipe with this just to get everything off and cleaned up. All right, so we're going to put the helmet back down here and not drop it. All right, so first things first. Why did I buy the chin mounts? Well, when you look at the ones that they give you, right, with 3M tape on them, these are the GoPro original ones, right? They give you a flat one, they give you a couple curved ones. The biggest thing is that it doesn't really sit flat. I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera or anything like that, but it doesn't sit flat where it gives a really good adhesion, except for like maybe way over here on the side, right? So I could put it way over here on the side and build an arm to come out to the front here, but that's really not the best way to do it, right? And then, you know, then you still get the camera you could still get the camera to come around and sit on the front here where you want it, right? So, you know, chin mounts here, right? They did their thing where they made 3D printed ones. And overall, I mean, that is, if you can see that is contoured exactly the same way as it is for the helmet. So when I go down here to mount this on the helmet, you can see that it fits the contours perfectly, right? So that body they made and the glue and everything is going to fit perfectly. So if I get over here and I center this in the center of the helmet, this 3D printed plastic here, that's going to lock right on the helmet, and it's going to allow me to put that camera right in front there, right? So we got the bracket for it, right? Clip that bracket in there, and then mount my camera, right? So this would clip in just like any other GoPro mount. And now my camera, my Hero9 that I'm taking the pictures with now, it's going to mount right on my chin, face straight out, and we're going to have a really good view of the rides that we're taking here. All right, so we're going to get that mounted first, and then we'll play with the microphone and stuff a little bit too in a minute. So first step in getting that mounted, they tell you to heat up the plastic here. So we're going to unplug our. Oh shit. Hold on, guys. Alright, so we're gonna clean this really good first. Got a little alcohol wipe here, so we know we get all any contaminants off without, so that glue will stick good here. Give that a good wipe with the alcohol. And we're gonna grab ourselves a towel here so that dries. Make sure that's good and dry. Alright, so now I'm going to use a couple of those other mounts there, hold the helmet in place. So I got my heat gun here, right, because they say to heat this up, get it warm, right? So I got my cheap $16 Harbor Freight heat gun here. So we're going to peel this backing off. We can get it here, of course. It's going to be a pain in the rear end, as it usually is. To peel these 3M backings off here. Alright, I'm going to do this a little, warm it up here a little bit. Alright, so now that's warmed up, we're going to line it up here. Hopefully not drop it and ruin the glue on it, since we're only going to get one chance to really mount this thing. And we're going to see here left and right. It's not quite in the middle. Alright, and that looks pretty good. So now we're just going to put our pressure on it here, guys. And actually, I may even grab a clamp and just squeeze on that a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to have to because this thing's pretty rock solid. So I'm just going to hold it for a minute. Make sure that 3M tape gets on there. A little twist to make sure it's pretty square and pretty level there, which it looks to be. It looks pretty straight as far as the front to back goes. You know, and with the GoPro mount, we'll have a little bit of a little adjustment we can do there too. I have a couple of different connectors and arms and everything for it. So if it's not 100% dead nuts middle, we should be able to play with that a little bit there. But that's it, nice and simple. I mean, that thing's rock solid. Now I know they say to wait 24 hours, which we're going to do because we all know GoPros are not at least the cheapest item in the world here. So we certainly do not want to not hook this up and, you know, and let it wait the 24 hours like they asked for that glue to set and then lose our GoPro. They do also include, actually they include an alcohol wipe, so that's an extra one now. They do include a tether. I know that listening to some other guys online that, you know, this tether here, obviously you just put your string through here and loop it around. My understanding is that this is needed on some racetracks and some other places that they require you to tether your camera to your helmet in case it comes flying off, so you don't leave debris on the track, and obviously, you know, it could cause an accident for somebody else, right? So, you know, this is included with the mount, and then I did buy with the mount they gave me. It was an extra few dollars, but it's their version of the GoPro mount. It looks a lot like the rest of them, so but I do like that it has this metal stud on the outside. So we'll probably use this one to get the camera set and everything like that. So that's that mount on there. I still have to do my microphone, but I did want to talk about Dango Designs for just a minute. Right? So again, guys, I'm not sponsoring. Like, you see my channel, I got like 6 or 7 subscribers, right? I'm not like a crazy YouTuber here or anything like that, but this was my first attempt at mounting my GoPro, and the first videos you saw were this clamp with my GoPro mounted upside down, and that's how I grabbed those videos. What's nice about this clamp is, I mean, it's strong, right? It's got a good tight grip to it. It's got these rubber teeth that grab the front of the helmet, but they don't mark nothing up. On the inside, though, one change I did make to mine that I probably wouldn't do if this was a dirt helmet or something is these teeth in here were razor sharp. And I didn't want to have nothing, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video, but I didn't want to have this foam in here get all chewed up by those sharp teeth when I was using it, right? Because this would just slide in here and clamp like that. So what I did was I took just a regular file and just filed those down or sanded them down a little bit so they weren't quite as rough. I can tell you, I did that, Still use the camera, like I said, mounted it because this thing will turn and stuff. You can rotate it any way you want to mount the camera. So I did do that, and I mounted my camera upside down, filed those teeth, and this thing was still rock solid, right? And it works great. So if you have multiple helmets and you don't want to go out and spend the 30 or 50 bucks, 30, 40 bucks for a chin mount for every single helmet, so you can interchange, you could use something like this. This would clamp right to the helmet, like I said, works out well. And I'm certainly going to enjoy this. Also, you know, honestly, just outside of using it for your helmet, you could clamp this anywhere else too, right? So I have, you know, I'll see if I can, you know, you could grab a 2x4 with this or whatever, and here, I'll just clamp it here for a minute and then see. Well, you can't see that angle here, but basically you guys can clamp it. I mean, you can clamp it to anything, like a 2x4, anything like that, and it's still a great, you know, a great mounting. It's solid, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. So it's another option, again, for you guys if you're going to do some moto vlogging or whatever, or you want a place to mount your camera or whatever. You know, this Dango Designs clamp, it's not cheap, right? It's 50 bucks, but it's worth 50 bucks all day. All right? So the next thing I want to do on this video is, this is the microphone I used right here that I bought with, that I bought for the first time. I think it was $10 on Amazon. I'll find the link, but this is from Lali. So Lali's another YouTuber. You guys have probably seen her. You know, rides motorcycles and stuff like that. She's got her FZ07, her MT07, and she had recommended this in her Motovlog video, this nice little microphone. The great thing about it is once you take the little lapel clip off, right, which I have in my spare parts over here somewhere, right? Once you pop this little lapel clip off, it's almost nothing to the microphone, right? Very thin, very short wire, which is nice. And we can hide this now inside the cheek pads of the helmet, and it works out great. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to get set up here in a minute. I'm going to move some stuff around. I'm going to clean this bench off a little bit here, and I'm going to mount this and slide this inside my cheek pad. The only difference I'm going to do this time, guys, is I'm going to grab myself just a little piece of duct tape to just hold it to that cheek pad and then tuck the wires away. So I'm going to grab the duct tape and do that kind of stuff, and we'll get that mounted in there. Now, of course, any true mechanic always has a ton of duct tape around, right? So, one thing I like about the Shoei is, you know, again, it's a great helmet, and we're going to do a review on it later, but there's plenty of room under here to tuck things and hide things and stuff like that. So, what we're going to do is we're going to double check on the GoPro and figure out which side the media mod drops the cable on when it's mounted, right? So we're going to figure that out, and then that's the side that we're going to have the cable come out right out of here, just long enough to reach the GoPro, right, when it's mounted in the front. And then from there, what I'll be able to do is, with it set up like that, I'll be able to just, if I'm not riding with my GoPro, I want to snap the GoPro off, I'll be able to just tuck that cable right up in here, out of the way, and then we'll be able to, you know, still use the helmet and stuff like that when the GoPro's not on. So I'm gonna do that for one quick second. I'm just gonna grab my GoPro. I'm gonna hold it up like it was on part of the helmet, so I can figure out which side I got to put the microphone on, and we're gonna go from there. So let's see. All right. So as it turns out, the media mod port is on the right-hand side of the helmet. Which, I mean, obviously right now it's upside down to the left, but this is the side that's gonna need the microphone. So I'm just gonna clip this. I heard it pop loose, so I'm gonna snap this snap back in here. There we go. So my cheek pad on the left-hand side stays in, and we're going to mount on the right side here. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but what I'm probably going to do is, and I'll see if you guys can see inside the helmet here. I'm going to probably reach up in here and probably try to tuck the cables way back in here somewhere. Normally where you might tuck some cables, I could sound through those snaps here, back here where you might tuck some cables for like a Senna or a Cardo or something like that. I'm going to tuck all the extra cable up in there. I'm going to tape that microphone under here inside this cheek pad here. I'm going to leave just the head sticking out. Maybe if I turn it this way, I'm going to leave just the tip of the microphone right here. I'm going to stow a little windscreen on it, but that right there, there's no wind there anyway. So I'm going to tuck a little windscreen right there on it, and then hopefully we get some good audio. And If we don't, we'll adjust a little bit. So we're going to work on that right now. I'm going to keep the video rolling, you know, but when we go to do this, when I go to post this, maybe I'll fast forward a little bit so you guys aren't watching me, you know, mess with this too much here. So we're going to pop our cheek pads loose and pull it out a little bit here first. Right? There, now we can see in there really good, right? So now you can see all that space in there, right? And then we have this spot back here. Like I said, I already popped the head loose a little bit here on the other pad, but we're going to be able to get in that pad there and coil that wire up, tape it up there, and then leave just enough out to reach the GoPro setup. All right, so let's start with thinking about how and where. Probably mount it just above that, just below that snap. So we're gonna lay this microphone in here just like this, if you guys can see, to just the tip sticks out like that. All right, so if you guys can see that in there, hopefully you can get a good view of that in there. We're gonna lay that in there just like that. So I'm gonna tape that down, and I'll take you another shot of it so you can see how much of that microphone is sticking out, and then we'll come back into it for a minute. So grab my duct tape. We got enough tape here to get that to stick. Maybe need just a hair more tape on that. Alright guys, got our zip ties here, so we're going to figure out with the GoPro, make sure we got just enough to get to the camera here on that side. And we're going to zip tie this off down here, because then we'll know that we got to lose the rest of that in the helmet somewhere. So let's just tighten that up. Oh, probably not quite enough there. Pull a little more out. Yeah, and that should be, look guys, if you guys can see that now, that'll be just enough to reach out and plug into the camera while leaving the rest of it tucked in the cheek pad here. So we're going to tighten that up. I'm going to snip that little zip tie off there. And now the real fun is going to be losing the other 3 feet of this wire up in my helmet there. So I think the easiest way is probably going to be to just take it over maybe twice, put a snap tie on it, and then see if we can just, actually I might even just grab a piece of tape here and see if we can hide that up in here somewhere. There's got to be enough, yeah, there's plenty of room back here to just lay that wire in there, which is what I'm doing now. Trying to get it laid up here pretty flat, right, because I don't want to feel it in my head when I'm riding and stuff like that. And then I think what I'm going to do is just get a piece of duct tape and just tape that down up in there. So we're going to grab another little strip of our tape here and see if we can neatly anchor that up inside there. It looks like we can. Okay. Then we're going to start doing our snaps again here and just make sure we don't miss any. So we're going to reach in here now. Now one thing about these helmets is those snaps are a bitch. Like sometimes they line up real easy, and sometimes you got to fight with them for what seems like hours. So we don't want to leave anything exposed as far as those wires go. So we're going to work on this for a minute here and probably just put my head right in the picture there, and you guys probably couldn't see anything. But work on that. Alright, now I got my cable here ready. Alright, so I'm going to pull my wire forward just a little bit, make sure I got enough. Okay, which should be plenty. And now we're going to put my cheek pad back in here, right? So the next plan here is get this cheek pad right here, get this mounted back in there. And I start with the clip on the side here, the red clip. It seems like it's a little more, one of the harder ones to put in, and trying to line that up with the pads. So we're gonna fight to get that. There, that one's in there. And now we're gonna find this back one here, which of course is right where the wire is. So we're gonna have to move that wire up just a little bit and get that one to snap here. Alright, so we got that one done, and then we got to get the one in the front here done. So we're going to find it. Alright, so we're done. And actually, I don't know if you guys can see it in there, but that little spot right there where the pad is, that's where the head of the mic is. See that? If you can see that right there where the tip of my finger is, a little hard. There you go. Now you can maybe see it. That little spot right there, that's where my my mic head is. So I bought some inexpensive little puff balls, you know, windscreen shield. I'm going to slide one on there just to protect it a little more, but I almost probably don't think I even need it. So here they are here, and I believe Mike Branch had these on his site. These little disposable windscreens here. They're almost nothing to them, and they're stretchy. You know what I mean? So hopefully I just tuck this in there, and we'll see how it works out here. So we're going to just reach in this helmet here, and actually I don't even think it's going to go on there really all that great, but we're going to see about tucking it in. Alright, so we got that little piece of little windscreen on the mic there. We're going to tuck away as much of that fuzz and much of the fur as we can here, trying to just reach in there and tuck that away on there. But I think that's going to work out alright, because now I have enough cable here, and just pull on a little bit to plug in for the GoPro. And then, you know, if I don't want this, I can just take and just tuck this in here like this. You know, just tuck this away a little bit. You guys can see me here. I'm just going to push that cable up behind that cheek pad a little bit, and it'll disappear up in there. You know, so there. And now it's gone. So for the days I'm not using my GoPro, cable's in there, it's out of the way, the mic's in there, but it's not worth it. I mean, I'm probably going to use the GoPro more often than not, just to record footage, just to have fun. But now we're good to go. Helmet's ready to go, everything's in there, and if I need it, I can just reach in here a little bit, and you know, if I got to pop the snap a little bit and then put it back, there's my cable for my GoPro. So we're going to do a quick switch of cameras again. I'm going to grab the GoPro and the mount, because this thing is pretty solid. I'm going to clip it on the helmet, and then I'll take some footage with the iPhone so you guys can see what it looks like. Alright, so stand by, guys. Alright guys, so we're back to the iPhone here, just to take this footage here, but you can see I have the camera mounted there now on the front. You can see it from the front here. Let me get the helmet, just sit down here for a minute and I'll back up, but you can see from the front there, camera's right on the chin, right in the middle. It looks good, you know what I mean, nice and simple, easy click on. Again, the mount from the side is right there. You can see it's just the one wire here coming out and going there. I can tell you, I do like the media mod over trying to use the old doors and the old audio conversions that I've seen out there. This is definitely a much simpler and a much cleaner look for setup like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on the bike. I have it on my side stand right here. Again, you can see that wire there. And I'm going to show you guys how I adjust my camera when I'm sitting on the bike. And I use the GoPro program, the quick program that they have for GoPro, and the live view, because then you can actually, I put my bike on my center stand. I have a a trackside paddock stand, so I throw it up on that, and I just sit on the bike with the helmet on, and then adjust the camera to where I like it, and then tighten it down. So we're gonna do that here now, and you'll see the view from the GoPro while I'm sitting on the bike. Alright guys, well I thought I was going to be able to do this from the bike showing you the preview, but once you start recording it goes to and tells you the preview is not available, so you can't really see the live view of this. But basically what you're looking at right now is I'm sitting on the bike, right? I have the camera here mounted on the front of it here, and then I can, you know, I'm sitting on my paddock stand here, so I can just reach forward, sit back, and look at this and say, okay, you know, do I want it, do I not like it, whatever. So what I do is I leave the live view up, or the preview view, and then I adjust the camera to where I like it, and then we're ready to go. And then we have you know, the angle we like, and it seems to work pretty good once you get on the road to see that angle and have it the way you like it. You know what I mean? So you get a good view, you get to see the road in front of us, and you know, it works out good for motovlogging and stuff like that, or just to record your rides. So that's how I'm going to do it from now on, and hopefully we'll grab some footage this week on my rides to work, or maybe I get out for a quick ride in the next couple days here outside of work, so you guys can we get some new footage and some new vlogs up, and we'll go from there. So again, appreciate everybody watching the channel. I hope you guys enjoy the content, and then just let me know if there's if there's stuff you want to see or stuff about the bike. I mean, I plan on doing a helmet review coming up, maybe some of my other gear. Like I said, I'm still waiting on that front fender from Carbon 2 Race. It apparently is in New Jersey at the moment, so hopefully I'll get it in a few days. We'll do the install on that, and then we'll keep coming up with some ideas for the channel. So again guys, thanks everybody. Like I said, if you like the content, you know, subscribe, like the video, let me know, give me some comments on things you'd like to see or changes I can make, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks guys.